A single, hidden flaw in Britain's greatest weapon was silently handing victory to the Nazis, and nobody could figure out why. This machine was more than just metal and fire. It was the Spitfire, the very symbol of British hope and defiance in the skies. Pilots swore by its agility and speed, and the public saw it as the key to survival. But beneath its iconic silhouette lurked a deadly secret, a design quirk so catastrophic it threatened to rewrite the entire war. Because at the very moment a pilot needed power the most, during a steep, life-or-death dive, the Spitfire's mighty Rolls-Royce Merlin engine would simply choke and die. Meanwhile, the German Messerschmitt Bf 109 faced no such weakness. This single advantage gave German pilots a terrifying edge, allowing them to dominate encounters and push the Royal Air Force to the brink. The Battle of Britain was won, but barely, and this persistent engine failure was a central reason why. For the Allies to secure a definitive victory, this puzzle had to be solved. The nation's top engineering minds were summoned. Yet, despite their colossal expertise, the solution evaded them all. The answer, it turned out, would not come from a decorated engineer in a prestigious lab. It would come from a woman most of them had gravely underestimated. Her name was Beatrice Shilling. And to understand how she cracked this impossible problem, you must first understand the physics of failure. The issue was the carburetor. In a steep -G dive, gravity's pull on the fuel inside it ceased. Fuel would float away from the feed lines, starving the engine. For those few critical seconds, a pilot was not a hunter, he was a gliding target. The problem was identified as early as 1938 but was tragically overlooked. When war erupted, it became a matter of life and death. Making it more desperate was the scale: thousands of Spitfires and Hurricanes, all equipped with the same flawed Merlin engine, were all. Britain was fighting a world war with a crippled air force. Every proposed fix from renowned experts failed, sometimes creating new dangers. The situation seemed hopeless. But Beatrice Shilling approached the problem with a mind forged in an unusual crucible, the world of motorcycle racing. Before the war, Shilling wasn't just an engineer, she was a record-breaking racer at Brooklands, tearing up the track on a modified Norton motorcycle she had rebuilt with her own hands. She was an outsider who understood machines from the inside out. Her tinkering with carburetors for speed would become the key to saving lives. Denied traditional paths, she fought to enter engineering university, becoming the first woman in her department. By 1939, she was a technical officer at the Royal Aircraft Establishment. When the Spitfire crisis peaked, she requested permission to try her hand. Skeptical authorities, with nothing left to lose, reluctantly agreed. What she devised was astonishingly simple. Not a complex overhaul, but a small, precise brass restrictor plate with a meticulously calculated hole. This modest ring, fitted into the carburetor, regulated fuel flow during -G maneuvers, preventing starvation. She called it her orifice plate. The male engineers, who had overcomplicated the issue, were left in awe. But invention was only half the battle. This fix needed to be installed across the entire fleet, immediately. And so, Beatrice Shilling took to the road. Armed with her toolkit and riding her trusted Norton, she traveled from airbase to airbase, personally overseeing the modification of countless aircraft. Her hands-on commitment ensured the fix was implemented correctly and swiftly. The plate was so effective it was jokingly called Miss Shilling's orifice. More importantly, pilots called it a lifesaver. Her ingenuity in a brass ring tilted the air war back in Britain's favor. Shilling didn't stop there. She later designed a complete new carburetor that permanently solved the issue. Her contribution was so vital that many credit her with being a decisive, if unsung, architect of Allied air superiority. After the war, she was rightfully honored with an Order of the British Empire and continued pioneering work on jets and missiles. Beatrice Shilling was more than a mechanic or an engineer. She was a force of nature who defied every expectation, proving that the key to overcoming history's greatest challenges often lies in the most unexpected minds. This is the untold story of the woman who healed the Spitfire's heart. If these hidden turning points of history fascinate you, show your support. Like this video to help more people discover these stories, and follow Reality Unveiled for our next investigation into the shadows of the past.